here, Narongo, Elias Lukwago, and I request her to wait to you. And as you know, Omulodi Chibuga Kampala, I have a cabinet, a full cabinet. That full cabinet, Madam Lope, as you are leading your team in Parliament, or leader of the minority in Parliament, as you lead your team, I also have the leader of the team of the government of Road, who is the Deputy Lord Mayor. I have the Minister in charge of Public Health and Education, Honorable Olive Namazi here. I have the Minister in charge of Civil Works and Physical Planning, Honorable Kennedy Okero. I've seen here a number of road councillors, Honorable Alice Amoni, Afoyo, Honorable Alice Amoni. She's been here dancing those stroke, Yaramanoi, Yolen. They have also seen Honorable Moses Okwera somewhere and others. You are all most welcome. I thank you very, very much. Honorable Alanika Huchire, I have not seen you. Oh, Honorable Alanika Huchire is also around here. Honorable Mutazindwa, I'm told is around. Those gentlemen and ladies mean a lot to me, because you know what is going on at State Hall and the struggles we are involved in. Honorable Doreen Sabuka from Machi, India West. I'm sorry I did not get the list of those who are present. Like the party president has observed here, there's been a lot of speculation in the press, both mainstream and social media. But I'm glad it has been fully explained here. The reason we have assembled here at the headquarters of FDC has been clearly explained and articulated. I don't need to labor so much to explain it. But for record purposes, I would like to read a written speech. It will be segmented. It will be into phases. One, I will deliver a written one, and then I will make off-the-cuff remarks, probably in Uganda, and call it a day. You will accept. I request you will bear with me. And I have a few copies, which I will request, please kindly circulate them, those who may be in position to get them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm done with issue of protocol and citations. This is my maiden speech as a member of the FDC. It is truism to say that I've been to Najana Nkumbi on several occasions. I have flashed the V sign. I've shouted the FDC symbol, motto or slogan, in a capacity of a visitor and the old comrade in the struggle. But today, I feel immensely elated and excited at this momentous occasion to do so in the capacity of a full-fledged member of the mighty FDC. One Uganda, one people, viva, viva FDC. Viva, viva FDC. I would like to salute and thank you for this warm reception. It's a humbling experience and a huge milestone in my journey, and I can reckon that the chemistry between me and you will easily connect with you members of the Kala Buru family. Given the fact that we have enjoyed a cordial relationship for quite a long time, since the inchoate days of this great party, when it was still in its formative stages as the reform agenda. I can elaborate on this. I have enjoyed a cordial relationship with all of you right from the inception of this party. We have had a very good working relationship. We have shared quite a lot. We have been indeed members of the same family, but different colors. I would wish, in the same vein, to salute and pay tribute to the progenitors of this great party, both dead and living, particularly the founding party president, retired Colonel Dr. Chiza Besigye, and all the successive leaders who have steered this great party to different levels in such a hostile and grotesque political environment. I say to you, Dr. Besigye and your colleagues, kudos. Permit me to say that I owe a great deal of gratitude to my cradle, that is the Democratic Party, for the immense contribution they have made towards the development and growth of my career, right from the time I was still at the university where I cut my political teeth, that is in the mid-1990s. Because that's when we started the UID, that's when we are very, very active as young men and women at the university. I teamed up with the colleagues and we became very, very active, both in the struggle and in that nascent institution, UID, which is affiliated to the Democratic Party. And we have moved as a team up to this very moment. So I salute my colleagues in the Democratic Party. The trials and tribulations notwithstanding, I will forever treasure the memorable but roller coaster journey that I have walked with the DP comrades. Of course, not forgetting my solid record and enormous contribution to the party's historical profile as one of the vanguards of rule of law, constitutionalism, civil liberties, social justice, and all those aspects of the struggle, especially in the area of public interest litigation. That is a record that cannot be wished away. That the Democratic Party offered me that solid platform to showcase my potentials, to explore those horizons which are well documented, and in the end, to make a contribution to the development and progress of this country, specifically in the area of rule of law, constitutionalism, and good governance. And that record is there. So it's a record I'll always remember, it's a record I'll always treasure. Permit me again to say that it was on that premise, among other factors, that the then leadership of one of the great men and celebrated statesmen in this country, and the patriarch, for that matter, for the Democratic Party, Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogereri, honored me with a life membership card number 11. I want you to pay attention to this. Because of my contribution to the development of the EP, to the building of that platform, to the progress of this country, to the fight against bad governance, the fight for restoration of rule of land constitutionalism, I was recognized by the then leadership, credible leadership of Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogerere, who up to this particular moment remains one of those strong patriarchs of the party and one of those statesmen we have in this country. That leadership honored me when I was still a very, very young man with a life membership card in Democratic Party number 11. Now the question you will ask me, what's going to happen to that card that was given to you? I have a simple answer. It's going to remain in my archives as a souvenir. You can call it a memento. If you have a Uganda accent like myself, you can call it a memento. A memento. So whoever asks you, whoever asks you as to what has happened to the life membership card of Elias Lukwago, which was given to him way back in 2004 when I was still a young man. Of course, this year I clocked 50. Yes, I clocked 50. But by then I was still a very young man. So the simple answer you should give, you should help me by telling whoever poses that question that that is a memento. A memento. It's a souvenir. It will remain there in the archives. I would like to outrightly place a caveat. No. I'm sorry. Before going notwithstanding, I'm convinced beyond all shades of doubt, I'm talking about that record, the strong record I have in Democratic Party. That history, that profile I've built within Democratic Party, which I've said will never be wished away by anyone. I am saying now, I'm convinced beyond all shades of doubt that now is the time for me to move on and open a new chapter in my political career. I want to underscore this. I've taken this decision as an adult of sound mind with my own free will. I am persuaded again that it would be imprudent of me to delve into the nitty-gritty of what has compelled me to relinquish my life membership card in DP, but rather focus my attention on the justification for having chosen to join FDC. I request, and I want to repeat this, kindly bear with me. I will not go into those issues, the reasons why I've left DP. That is a matter for history. What now I'm focusing on going forward are the reasons and justification for my decision to join FDC. And allow me at this juncture to move into that direction. I would like to outrightly place a caveat or disclaimer that I could have been by any stretch of imagination imbued or motivated by self-aggrandizement. I'm not here for self-aggrandizement. I want to stress that. My decision has not been informed by a desire, one, to come here for anything material. No. I know for sure a vast majority of you and other right-thinking members of this country will attest to the fact that I have no scintilla or iota of political scheming within my DNA. You know that anyone can get the Bible, can get the Quran, and testify to that fact. You can attest to that fact. That once, if you are to examine Lukwago, the DNA of Lukwago, you'll not find an iota of scheming. It's not there in my blood. So I'm not here because I've come here to scheme for anything. And those who have been speculating, please hold your fire kindly. I'm not here for political scheming. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm here at Najanankombe. I therefore would like to unequivocally underscore the fact that I have not come to FDC as a fortune hunter looking for freebies, groceries, or what in political parlance is termed as a meal card. I've not come here for a meal card. And at the risk, I want to say this, at the risk of breaching the principle of modesty, I would like to state that all the time I've served as Omulodi wa Kampala, I have never been expressly endorsed by my former party. That's why I wanted to underline this particular aspect. Those of you may be mistaken to think that I'm here for meal card. I'm at Stay Hall without the endorsement, at least express endorsement, formal endorsement of the Democratic Party. Despite the fact that I've been a strong and a staunch member of the DP, but I've not been at Stay Hall, and I'm not at Stay Hall on DP ticket. So I'm not here for a meal card. All this I'm saying to stress a point that I'm not here for a meal card and I'm not here for scheming. I want to conclude this particular point that personally, I abhor the culture of meal card politics, which is quite pervasive within our body politic. With all due respect to whoever may feel offended by my remarks, I always cringe at the sight of a political leader roaming around with a party ticket as an ATM card, and such elements shouldn't be tolerated by any serious political party. Members of the color blue family, please. The FDC ticket, those of you who are in elective politics, I request we shouldn't treat it as an ATM card. To slot it into a machine and it emits money for you. There is that culture of people treating party tickets. Party tickets, the card have been given here, or the ticket that can be given, I use it as an ATM card. I'm sorry, whoever feels offended, I've already registered my apologies. But I'm speaking out my mind. My coming to FDC, now these are the reasons. My coming to FDC is primarily intended to cement my bond, which I've already explained, with a team of patriotic and charismatic leaders who have over the years unflinchingly championed a multifaceted struggle to create political sanity in this country and build a free, prosperous, and just society. That is all I have to tell you as the fundamental reason as to why I've taken a decision to join the team here at Najanankombe. Because you've been colleagues in the struggle, no doubt about that. We've been comrades all through. We have gone through thick and thin together. So I'm here for that particular purpose. It cannot be gainsaid that FDC has carved for itself a niche on the political landscape of this country and beyond, as a political organization with solid values and a formidable platform that espouses and unwaveringly seeks to assert the people's sovereign authority, constitutional and accountable leadership, shared prosperity, social justice, unity in diversity, and so on and so forth. But FDC has got that niche on the political landscape of this country as a formidable platform that fights for rule of law, constitutionalism, social justice, unity in diversity, and prosperity for all. Those are the core values, if you examine my vessels here, which are flowing within my blood. So you can see now how my blood is connecting easily with the FDC family members. In a country devoid of a democratic culture, FDC has distinguished itself as a party that has demonstrably endeavored to build stronger pillars or a rock foundation for the flourishing of intra- and inter-party democracy. Because we have no culture of democracy here, both internal and external. So, FDC's, I stand here to commend you for your efforts to cultivate a culture of ensuring that there is internal democracy in the party. And the gesture here, I really appreciate it, Secretary General and Mr. President, of giving me these instruments here as guiding tools. First, the Constitution, the platform Leap Forward, and all these other instruments and the paraphernalia to symbolize the fact that FDC espouses those values. Respect for the party constitution. I've had this rhetoric within the public domain that parties have no ideologies, parties have no agenda, parties don't respect their constitutions. At least FDC, you will step ahead. This is not flattery. I speak from within my heart. Whoever is offended, please bear with me. That is my opinion and assessment. I further wish to reassert my conviction to the philosophy of defiance as espoused by FDC and the People's Government as a potent tool of empowering the citizens to be able to subdue the gun culture which has dominated the politics of this country since colonial days. The day I was appointed as Deputy President, and I want to underline this, members, which I really appreciate and thank Dr. Kizabesige for. When we inaugurated this cabinet at some place many of you are aware of, it was made very, very clear that we are establishing a war cabinet to spearhead the struggle, to empower the citizens, to be able to subdue the gun, bring it under control. It is the gun which is responsible for the crisis we are experiencing today. So that is a mission I think we should continue with here. And in my statement here, it was aptly described as the unfinished business by Dr. Besige in his book, which I'm sure many of you have read. So members, that unfinished business is our responsibility to deal with together with our commander in the struggle, retired Colonel Dr. Kizabesige. And it's one of the reasons why I'm teaming with you in a more formal manner, in a more formal way, to continue advancing that struggle. Finally, I appeal to you, brothers and sisters, that we remain steadfast on the cause we have always championed and pursued under the framework of the People's Government of forging a principled and formidable synergies with other progressive forces and change-seeking organizations or formations in the advancement of the liberation struggle. This is an appeal that we have always championed this cause together. Though we have been in different formations, different political parties, at least we have had that common ground that we build the synergies to advance the struggle for liberation. Let us continue with the same. I am really convinced that we can't go it alone. And I'm glad the party president here has alluded to that fact, and indeed he laid bare the principles that are going to guide that particular process. And I implore you and appeal to you, colleagues, we continue with that spirit and push the struggle to another level. Those principles you have laid out here, Mr. President, are quite good and fundamental, given the experience we have encountered before. Personally, I've been in these processes. Actually, you've mentioned the TDA. I was in the G6 representing DP as a very young man. Every time we would sit as G6 members, I would be on the team representing DP. And we have had these issues time and again, discussing here and there without coming to fruition. The IPC experience, you are aware of what happened. You know what happened with the IPFC. No, IPC experience. Of course, IPFC, Interpolitical Forces Cooperation. That was IMAT here. Honorable Cecily Ogwal and others. Those are the pillars, those are the people who were behind that particular arrangement. But some of us started with the G6, then IPC, then the TDA. This time around, I don't know what's going to be. But the principles are very good. I think we should stick to that. Of course, with an open hand to all those progressive forces. I would like to again state that the prevailing political environment calls for a common front for all democracy-seeking forces with a minimum transition agenda that will engender or usher in a genuine democratic dispensation. That's what I wanted to say, that I believe in that. A common front that can engender a transition arrangement to pave way for democratic change. I would like to conclude by sending a simple message to my detractors, because there are so many, I've seen them, they have been at it in the social media all over since last night. And all those charlatans, they are those charlatans who are hell-bent on maligning me. I should say to them that please don't be oblivious of the fact that the man you see here, Lukwago Elias, I'm a seasoned politician, but not a seasonal one. I want to put that in bold and underline it. I am a seasoned politician, but not a seasonal one. I've taken this decision of joining FDC. Wait a minute. I've taken this decision of joining FDC as a seasoned politician. The seasonal politicians can take theirs. But a seasoned one, this is my decision. I respect theirs, they should respect mine. Because this is a free world where we have to make our own choices. I've said I'm an adult of sound mind who is 50 years this year of the Lord. I once again reiterate my earlier affirmation that Najana Nkumbi is my home. I'm at peace with my conscience. I'm at peace with my heart. I'm at peace with my soul. In good and bad times, in sickness and in health, in swallowing tear gas or watermelons, in eating chiboko or chicken drumsticks, we shall always trudge together. And allow me put this in some Concord Uganda, this word trudge, I used it deliberately. The word trudge means okubebera. That in all these difficult circumstances, in health and sickness, in swallowing tear gas or watermelon, in getting chibok, in getting detained, in getting humiliated and harangued, we shall okubebera together. We shall always trudge together. I am quite confident and optimistic that with God's grace and hard work, we shall overcome the challenges before us, and we shall rise and shine together. For God and my country, I will say just a few remarks in Uganda. and conclude. Just very briefly. Mbagambye basebo ne banyabo jagala bino bigumiza mu Uganda. Bakadde bange, mikwano gyange, baganda bange. Size ku FDC kunona mirukati. Size ku FDC kweyagaliza byange. Size ku FDC kunonya ze bayita groceries oba mandazi. Size ku FDC kwegulumiza oba kweraga nti ndi wa kitalo. Nzize okwatagana n'abalwanyi na mige. Twongere okutwala olutalo olusigukula nakyemalira Yoweri Kaguta Museveni atulisiza akakanja okumala emyaka n'ebisi. Nti likodi ya FDC eyogerera okuviira ddala mu biseera bya reform agenda tuzze tutambulira wamu okutuuka olwaleero lwendi deputy president mu People's Government nga nze deputy wa Kano Dr. Kiza Besigye People's President. Olugendo olwo sina budde bululambulula naye lwe tutambudde luwanvu lubaddemu enkonge n'amayinja, lubaddemu obuteebe ne tububuuka, lubaddemu okufa abamu abantu baffe baafa sijja bamalayo, n'abalala bangi abalemaziddwa, abalala bangi abatagina family bamulekwa, abalala bangi abakyabonaabona n'olwaleero. Ne ŋŋamba nti nedda mu muyaga omungi oguli mu ggwanga nga buli omu ayaayaana okulaba nga tununula eggwanga lino, nyina okukwatagana n'abapambanyi bano tutwale omusajja tugende maaso. Njagala okumaliriza bwenti nga nzigumiza ekigambo kye nti President kyayogeddeko wano Honorable Amuriat ababadde babiteeka mu mawulire nti twazze wano lwa nsonga ndala. Please ensonga eyo mugikomye. Twazze wano ku kintu, nze ndi wano ku kintu kimu kyakwegatta ku balwanyi tugende maaso n'olutalo. Ani anaakwata namba ki mu lutalo? Ani anaakwata mundu eyenkana ki oba mashini gani ki oba kino ki? Pate batulaze ina ssemateeka waayo n'obukulembeze bwayo obwo bwe binaabulamula. FDC gye mmanyi era gye nnyingidde olunaku lw'olwaleero sigirabangako ng'ekola ebintu by'ekivandulo. Naye n'oveeri n'oga nti olwaleero FDC ezze kwanjula. Ekyo kyekyalibadde surprise of the year. FDC kyekyalisembyeyo okukola. Bannange mulembe kunafuya abantu balwanye lutalo balutambuza kutuuka wano we tuli. So ekyo njagadde nkinyonyola. Ekisembayo ne kino ntegeerekeke bulungi. Buli omu alina choice ye. Mu nsi muno buli omu agoberera omutima gwe gye gwagala agende. Bw'oyinza okuba ng'owulira ng'obadde onjagala wano oba onjagala wali, omutima gwange nga guŋŋamba FDC. Nkwegayiridde. Siima omutima gwange kye gukoze eki? Kye gusazeewo. Waliwo oli agamba nti omubiri gukyaga, omutima gugaali, simanyi omubiri, sijja kugoberera mubiri ng'omutima guŋŋamba wano. Njagala okumalirizayo nga ŋŋamba kino. Waliwo abagamba nti Lukwago oba walisigadde nga bw'obadde, naye mbabuuziza kino era kakyogere ku muzindaalo. Bonna be tukolagana nabo mu byobufuzi, abali wano be FDC n'abatali wano be tukwatagana nabo bonna mu struggle, buli omu bwe tumaliriza addayo ewuweeka ne bagenda mu kala ezo ez'enjawulo. Nze bwe mbadde nnyina gye njagala okugenda ewange gye nazaalibwa gye nkulidde, ennaku ezo nga baŋŋamba nti kuliko ki? Kuliko bagala proof. Nga kakati nkoze ntya bwe naagenda ne nsanga bagala proof ngende mmenye emyaka nnyina 5. Amaanyi ge nnyina gaakulwanyisa Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Sirina budde, sirina maanyi gaakulwanyisa mulala. Njagala okubasaba munsonyiwe olw'okuba leero ye maiden speech yange njogedde bingi sibyalituuse wano. Naye njagala okumaliriza ebigambo byange nga ŋŋamba bwe nti bannange buli omu wooli ng'olina wooli mu nnyumba yo, nange munzikirize mbeereko ewaka. Waliwo ekigambo ekimu omuntu omu kye yayogera nabagaye sijja kgenda mu ebyo. We baali mu biseera bya impeachment. Waliwo omuntu eyankudaalira sijja bigendamu nabagambye ebyo. Sijja bigendamu naye yaŋŋamba nti Lukwago kaaboneebone kaba mukube nga abakuba street boy. Mbunali street boy kuba nti sirina waki. FDC mwebale okunyamiriza n'enfuna amaka gange era mbakakasa mu bulungi ne mu bubi mu mbeera yonna ate tubadde ffenna twemanyi fenses zonna zendaba wano tewali mpya gyendi fenses bwe tubadde era tugenda kusigala ffenna nga tugenda maaso nga Mukama ye mubeezi waffe naye tulabe nti tukwatagana n'abantu baffe abalala nga President bw'ayogedde nti kubanga lino eggwanga kati lyetaaga buli omu okukwatagana ne munne tulabe abo be tuliredde okukwatagana nabo tukwatagane buli omu tugaba n'olubimbi gwe kwata wano n'ono akwate wano n'oli akwate wali naye si kugamba nti ate gwe tuuleeka togenda mu lutalo luno lutalo tewali alina kutuulaka nti oba ono atuuleeka ffenna oba olyani ate teruliiko nti ono mukadde ono mukulu twala maaso ffenna buli omu akwate oba oli wa myaka emeka ffenna tukwate olutalo tukole ki tugende maaso twejjeko olunabe twejjeko olukokobe olwa mwami Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Omukama abankubire Ssaabasajja Kabaka awangaale one Uganda one people cha
Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago, welcome into the FDC family. Adam Murwana will invite Dr. Wesley, but before he does, people who work with the Lord Mayor at KCCA have said they want to thank you for joining their family.
Thank you very much. The spokesperson, he had actually said they shouldn't talk, but I'd like to appreciate him. We have for years prayed for this opportunity. We have for years longed for this moment. And we are grateful that our prayers have been answered. We are grateful that what we have fasted for years has finally come to pass. Your Worship, the Lord Mayor, I take this opportunity to thank you for all the support, for the immense support that you've given us as your councillors. We have learned a lot from you. And we also take this opportunity to welcome you to FDC, a party of principles, a party that was built on love, sweat, and tears. Your Worship, the Lord Mayor, we welcome you to the party that was built on the solid rock of defiance. Your Worship, as your beloved councillors, we have got a personalized gift for you. That every morning, as you take that tea that Nalongo has prepared for you, FDC should be at heart. Your Worship, the Lord Mayor, this should be a reminder that we still have the struggle ahead, the struggle to push the junta out of power. Like we all know, we cannot massage the dictator out of power. Your Worship, the Lord Mayor, we welcome you to where you truly belong. Thank you.
What Uganda? What people? Adam Mulwana, your job is to usher in the people's president. Toka barabara, dosa meingia, toa posito wako, tunataka jifungue. Toka barabara, wesi meingia, toa pasi yako, tunataka jifungue. Miaka 25 bei ya vitu imepanda sana. Miaka 25 wanalia umasikini. Miaka 25 wanazi wanalia. Miaka 25 wanalia. Miaka 25 wanalia. Toka kwa barabara, esi jameingia. Toa basi yako, tunataka jifungue. Toka kwa barabara, esi jameingia. Toa basi yako, tunataka
I will take the risk of talking without my mask because I am a strong advocate of the mask. Mukwelinda tekuba kuki kutya basaba atayina mask afune ki mask tugende ku lutalo tugendewa lutalo. The party president of the Forum for Democratic Change, the deputy president of the Forum for Democratic Change, Imad Cecilia Timogwar, party elder, and MP, the chairman of the Forum for Democratic Change, leader of our minority in parliament, and all the MPs who are here, distinguished Secretary General, our elders and founders of the party, the chairman, we call him Chairman Chapa Karuhanga, Haji Obeid Kamulegea, all the distinguished fighters who are here, but more so today, our newest entrant and Saba Saba, Omulodi w'ekibuga Kampala, Salongo ne Nalongo, Lukwago. We are extremely excited today to have this function. I have been rather angry, and sometimes I'm saying that I am always angry. I have really been quite angry these days. But today I have a reason to smile. And that is because Salongo Elias Lukwago has really, over the years, as he has said, become a real brother in the struggle. We have fought and suffered in very, very many different situations, some of which he may not remember. We are united by blood, and I am glad. That's why I'm happy today. I'm glad that we are now united in our home. So welcome home, and I would like to thank the FDC leaders and members who are here for giving you a befitting welcome to our home in Najanangu. The reason FDC indeed was formed, and I'd like to thank you for that wonderful speech that you have given. The reason FDC was formed, and indeed the reason that it has that name, that it's a forum for democratic change, is very instructive. The change, we are not fighting for any change, never. We are united in fighting for a particular change. A particular change of ending gun rule and ushering in people rule. From gun rule to people, the people must be in charge of this country. The people of Uganda must be in charge. So the struggle we are in is not a struggle for changing leaders, no. It's not a struggle of changing Museveni to Besigye or Museveni to someone else. It's a qualitative change. To change from domination of our country by a few people to popular control of Uganda. It's a qualitative change. As indeed the other speakers have said, Uganda has been dominated since the British came here. 100 and now nearly, I think, since 1894. How many years are those? 130 years, about. Close to 130 years, we are under domination of people who control the country with guns. Our independence fighters, the people who fought for independence and eventually achieved it under the leadership of UPC, and UPC people have never stopped jubilating for their effort in independence, and we must give it to them. They fought for independence, just like the DP fighters for independence that were led by the indomitable late Ben Chiwanuka. They did a lot. The British did not go away by requesting them to go away. They were fought until they left. We did not earn our independence on a silver platter. People died, people were beaten and tortured. People fought until the independence was granted. But since that independence, we got independence from the British, we didn't get independence from their guns. The guns they came with are still the ones outside they get there. If you peep outside, you will see them. We are not at any war here, but they are all over the place. The struggle, the current struggle, the mission for Uganda is not a mission to change leader. It's not a mission to remove the old for the young. It's not a mission to change from this side to that side. It's a mission to leave domination for freedom. We must get freedom in Uganda. And therefore, if we realize that to get freedom, we must fight for it, as we do here in FDC. In FDC, we recognize that to get freedom, we must. Are we together? Yes. To get freedom, we must fight for it. If we must fight for it, it is our duty to turn every Ugandan into a fighter. Are we together? It's our duty to turn every Uganda into a fighter. Now let's be clear. Every fighter can vote. Not so? Yes. Is there any fighter who can fail to vote? No. Not every voter can fight. Are we together? Yes. So, when we turn our people into fighters, it doesn't weaken our ability to vote. We can vote. And not just vote, but fight for our vote. It's not by mistake that FDC dominates Kasese. It's not by mistake. The Banyarwenzururu of Kasese have been fighting since before independence. They were fighting for their own independence before Uganda got independence. Their independence from the Toro Kingdom. They were fighting before independence. And that's why sometimes you hear that name, the Yira Republic, because they wanted to form their own nation of the Banyarwenzururu. And there are many Banyarwenzururu. There are more Banyarwenzururu in Congo than in Uganda. After independence, they continued fighting. If you go to the Rwenzoris, everybody you meet is a fighter. They wanted to cheat their votes there. They fought until everybody resigned and announced all the leaders in the Rwenzoris as FDC. That's not because there are more supporters there maybe than in other places. It is simply because for them they are fighters. So we want every Ugandan to turn into a fighter for his or her own freedom. Are we together? You are not fighting for somebody else, you are fighting for your own freedom. Because unless we get freedom, all of us, we shall die of all the things we are dying of today. Poverty, no health care, no education, no services, no roads, no. Unless we get freedom and control of our own wealth, we shall continue suffering. These days, you know, there are people who are uneasy about people talking about domination by a few people. And they are even translating that, you know, you are talking about tribalism, sectarianism. It is familism, actually. We are talking about familism. Dominating the whole country with one family. It's not even a tribe. Giving it a tribe is lifting it high. That you are dominated in a country where Mr. Museveni is the president, his wife is the minister, his brother is the one in charge of wealth, his son is the advisor on all security, his uncle is the one in foreign affairs, the other one is... And when you talk, they beat you. Keep quiet. You are the problem. You are talking about you are sectarian. So the control of the country by few people means our resources are controlled by a few people. We shall not liberate it until we all become fighters, stand together and say enough is enough. Enough is enough. The reason I am overjoyed today is that I have not seen, in recent times, people that are consistent in their fight for freedom, whether in the courts or in the streets, as this man here. He has devoted himself. And that's why he also recognizes that his natural home is also in Naja Nankumbi, where the other fighters are also based, trying to take the country forward. Liberation does not happen in a day. It has twists and turns. Especially if you are in a country like Uganda, where people are from all kinds of angles. There are many twists and turns. We need patience. We need resilience. We need steadfastness. And that all Elias Lukwago has demonstrated. So I'd like to really most heartily, most warmly welcome you and Nalongo into our family. That we fight and win together, and if need be, die together. Those of you who don't have very good lenses to see where things are now may be worried that the situation seems impossible, seems still tough. But I can assure you, the journey we started a long time ago is about to come to an end. You see, the end is always far more challenging than where you have passed. Because by the time you walk a long distance, when you are nearing the end, you're already tired. You're already worn out. They're like those marathon runners you see. To get to the line, you must marshal additional energy. Whatever you left in reserve, you pull out until you get to the line. That's where we are. Because the people we have been fighting are already really wriggling on the ground. I don't think that the NRM junta can be weaker than it is today. It can't. Are you aware that now even the salaries they are paying and allowances they are paying to these gunmen outside here, they have to borrow? They have to borrow to pay salaries to those soldiers. And the COVID helped us to expose them. This pandemic helped us to expose what this regime was. that there was not any reserve of anything in this country. Because they didn't even have one bag of food in the store when COVID struck. They didn't have even 1 shilling in the reserve in the Bank of Uganda. The very first money that was borrowed for COVID, 600 million euro, is the money that started moving things around. Those who may have got a few kilos of posho that you saw Museveni weighing on a scale to give Ugandans. Bajonga indeed. Even that posho he was weighing was borrowed money. He was weighing borrowed money. They did not have a single shilling. They did not have a single bag of food. How can you claim to be a strong government in that shape? If you cannot pay your soldiers, how can you be a strong government? And they are the soldiers who are keeping you in power. I can tell you, these soldiers are even more annoyed than you are. They are suffering more than you are doing. And let us not at any moment think that these are our enemies. They are actually our friends still trapped. We shall soon liberate them and they join us. Absolutely. So they have no economy, they have no security. The LODUs they trained and brought to beat up people were even more of a disaster for them than a solution. That's why they have now taken them back. But even those LODUs, they are your brothers and sisters. You know how much they are suffering. So ladies and gentlemen, let's not think that liberation is far. Let's not condition our minds according to their plans. That you are now looking at 2021. Why should you condition your mind according to their plans? Why can't Ugandans turn Uganda into their country even tomorrow? Why, or even today? Why must we wait? That we are waiting for 2021. On 26th of January 1986, when Museveni was sworn in as president, who set up that day? Who set up the date for his swearing in? It was ourselves sitting in Rubiri there having captured it. We are the one who said, now tomorrow, I think we should go and swear in. Yes. We set our own agenda. You cannot liberate your own country according to the agenda of another person. That you are, waiting for, I don't know, scientific whatever. This country can be liberated at any stage. I would like the FDC to remain in the vanguard of that liberation and let us liberate our country at the earliest possible time. As the Lord has said, there are many detractors. Please don't be diverted by detractors. That's their purpose, to distract you. Are we together? People who abuse you, don't even turn to look at them. Keep your eyes on the ball. Don't look aside. This one abuses you, you run after him. This one abuses you, you run after him. That's their purpose, to distract us. Maintain your sight on the ball. And let us, in maintaining our sight on the ball, identify those whose sights are also focused on the ball, and let us work together with everybody whose sight is focused on the ball. In liberation, we must work together. Because every Ugandan will want a piece of this Uganda. So every Ugandan must fight for it, whether from FDC or from another place. Those who are fighting for Uganda, let us pull together and end the game as quickly as possible. And once we maintain our eyes on the ball, we will not fail to identify who is moving towards the ball. We will know. Because, I mean, if you are attacking Besigye when he has no ball, then you must know that this one has a problem somewhere else. So just ignore them, maintain your eyes on who has the ball. Please don't be distracted, abuse this one, abuse that one. Forget about them, just attack where the ball is. And whoever is attacking where the ball is, then we hold hand in hand, we make sure that we take the ball. Are we together? So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as I have said, is a day of celebration. And I know, that this FDC is built on a lot of sacrifice. People like the Honorable Regan Okumu here, I have been seeing people parading him that he left the party. Where do they get those pictures? Is this Regan or is this the ghost of Regan? So, but those are the detractors whom I've said we should not pay attention to. Let's just maintain our eyes on the ball. And I have no reason to doubt that we shall overcome. FDC is strong all over Uganda, And, but confusion is sowed and, trying to distract us. You everybody asking, Besigye, is he coming? Whether he's coming or not, keep your eyes on the ball. Has he got a ball? Let me ask, is there anybody at all who invited me into the fight? Were you invited into the fight yourselves? Everybody is invited into the fight by their own conscience. And we didn't come into the fight as a part-time fight. We came to the fight until the work is done. This is why I have been unequivocal. In my case, me who brought myself, I will fight until the job is done or until I am done. I will. When I say that, you see some people. Why? And it is because many think that fighting is occupying an office. Me, I have never come into the fight just like the Lord Mayor told you. I never came into the fight looking for an office, never. And my eyes are not on the office, my eyes are on freedom. Not on any office. My eyes remain focused on freedom, on equality, that I can walk with my swagger, nobody. That we can share the wealth of Uganda equally. That is my fight. Not that I become into any office. And sometimes people even think that fighting is a luxury. That maybe we enjoy being there. That's why they compare me with Museveni. They think fighting a dictator is a luxury. I enjoy it. That's what they think, some people. It's not. Try it for a few years, then you will know. You will know. So, people will sooner or later understand our struggle, that our ball is not an office. Our ball is the freedom of our country. And in doing that, if we unite to procure that transition, we can't fail to have a leadership that will take us through the transition. We can't. Whoever it is. But let's first focus our eyes where we are going. As I have said, for me, the confidence about ending this is great. I am not a prophet. I have even never in my dream met God, whom I believe in very, very strongly. I'm a committed believer in God, but I have never, you hear people, God talk to me. He has never talked to me. But I believe in him and I believe in his works. But in my ordinary, simple way, I am able to say that if we go through here, we can get there. Many people whom we were arguing with, whether Museveni will go 2 terms or no term, many people, I told them Museveni is not going anywhere. We must fight him as early as possible. Said, no, give him his last term. Now, some of those colleagues, you find them saying that even now, what we are saying that we must fight for our freedom is wrong. We shall see who is wrong and who is right. But I believe that the end of this struggle is very, very near. We talked about the year of double, 2020. Keep looking at it, 2020. And you look at how many things have happened. Even now, there are locusts already in Karamoja. In those areas, people are fighting locusts. Are you aware? Have you ever seen locusts in your life? They came in 2020. The lake is already chasing people all over. The rivers are overflowing. The floods are everywhere. 2020. Now there is COVID. And COVID is real, my brothers and sisters. Don't take it as a joke. I said, mwekume. COVID is also real. It's there. 20. Warm up. Warm up. Let's finish the job. 20. Let's finish our job. 2020. It is possible. We can make it. I would like to thank you very much for coming, and may the God bless all of you. One Uganda, one people.
Thank you very much. One Uganda, one people. We will have the national anthem to mark the end of this function. And after the national anthem, Adam Mulwana, you will escort our guests out of this function. Someone lost these specs. Please. Thank you very much. We'll have the national anthem, and please kindly allow our guests to leave first, then we'll follow them.
Go on. tubadde wano nga twanira